Hi guys, welcome back to Liming with Courtney. Today I want to talk to you about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, the final episode. Guys, I am so annoyed. I am so pissed. I just cannot understand why people condone certain behavior. And I'm talking about Mama Joyce. Yes, we are supposed to respect our parents, but there are times that parents can be very disrespectful, and it's very important that we call them out on it, especially when it comes to your spouse. Now, the Bible says that you must leave and cleave, right? Todd is Kandis' family. Her mom is now a relative. Her siblings are her relatives. Her aunties and uncles, they are relatives. Todd, Kayla, Riley, little baby, Blaze, and their beautiful son, Ace. That's Kandis' family, and she needs to do everything within her power to protect her family. I have been on and off in terms of whether or not I'm for Todd or against Todd, but on this one I must say I am with him. And Kandi has to be very careful because she might cause her mother to ruin her relationship. And I'd be very interested to hear what was the cause of the breakdown between Kandi and Riley's father. It could very much be that Mama Joyce was intervening when she should not have. And then Kandi, I blame you as well. Why you have to go and share every negative thing that your mom says to you with Todd? Like, you're supposed to love your husband, so why are you going to tell him something that might break him down? I mean, I'm sure the man is tired of hearing that he's a gold digger. And yeah, we all criticize him in terms of what exactly is his job. But Candy's earning power is all the way up here, and it's very difficult for her to find a male who is not a megastar to match her. So Mama Joyce just needs to accept that. I don't care what might have happened between Mama Joyce and Todd. Mama Joyce should have been at that event for Kandi and for that baby. She didn't even have to interact with Todd. Like, the woman is in her 60s and she's here acting like a 10-year-old. And I'm so happy that she made reference to that lunchbox about when she was in elementary school, because she's acting very elementary right now. Clearly there has been no growth. And I don't want to be going around disrespecting people's mothers, definitely not. But I have to call a spade a spade. Mama Joyce acts way too immature, and I don't know, like, her sisters can't talk to her, because I see that one or two of the sisters were there at the event. Like, they can't talk to their own sibling to say, listen, what you're doing is wrong. And clearly Mama Joyce needs a hobby. It seems like Candy's father has moved on with his life, and so there's not a lot of tension between Kandi and him. I know that, yes, he wasn't as present in Candy's life as much as her mom was, but still, in this senior stage of his life, it seems as if he has moved on. And I think Mama Joyce needs to do that too. Mama Joyce needs her own life. She really does. And I thought with the restaurant that would be a good enough distraction for her, but clearly it has not been. I just don't know. And I mean, kudos to Todd for going on stage and actually apologizing to Kandi and Mama Joyce, because again, I said I don't know what he's apologizing for. It's not like he went through the front door of the restaurant and walked past the two of them. He was pissed off, and he was entitled to feel pissed off, and he just didn't want to go over there because he didn't want to disrespect her. Why is that so hard to understand? And what I don't like as well is that it's like people forget that Todd lost his mother. It's not that long ago that he lost his own mom. And to be honest, in the final years of that woman's life, he probably didn't get to pay as much attention to her as he should have, because he was there trying to butter up Candy's mother to let her finally accept him as a possible son-in-law. Like, I just don't think it's worth it. And we're looking at all the other relationships on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I don't know if Kandis and Todds will survive the test of time, because her family just disrespects him too much. So that's that in terms of them. Kenya and Nene. Nene's talking about Kenya's age, but Nene talk about her own age. She's being very petty as well. Marlo was there trying to stir the pot, obviously, by handing the phone to Kenya. I'm happy that Kenya owned what she said, and that was that. But where Kenya was wrong is that she shouldn't have prolonged the discussion. Like, can't you just say that Nene is a non-entity to you and treat her as such? Like, if I were there as Kenya, I would just be ignoring her and read it and say, yeah, I own it. I own what I said, and I said it because it was true. And then I would just ignore Nene and let her just talk to herself. Like, she would have to wonder if she's insane, because she would be there talking and I'd just not be responding. Especially when there was a good distraction of Kandi and the surrogate on stage. I'd just be looking at them like, oh. And Nene would be there in my ear and I'd just be like, oh, I'm so happy for you, Kandi. You know, that's what was important. The whole Shamia, Kenya, and Porsha saga. I said it to my sister when Kenya made a comment at the event. I thought it was uncalled for. I do know a lot of girls like that. Sadly, I have some friends who can be like that. I don't think they're being intentional, but sometimes they can take other people's moments and make it about themselves. And there are people like that in life. You just have to accept that. And Porsha just has to decide whether or not she wants to invite Kenya to these events, and the same with Shamia. But Porsha should not be talking about Kenya made her seem like a bad friend. We can't forget that Porsha did not go to Shamia's wedding, and she was treating Shamia all kinds of ways when Shamia was getting married. And that was supposed to be Shamia's moment. So I'm not really team Porsha on this one. Okay? When they indicated what each housewife stage is at the end, you know, the usual credits, and they were talking about Porsha and Denise, and she withholding the cookies and blah blah blah. Porsha, I like you. I think you're a darling, and I just don't think that you should be with Denise. But it's not my relationship. It's for her to learn, and I understand that she has a baby with him, so she's trying. But what is more important? Having a facade of a perfect family, or being truly happy in your relationship. And it's not like you are financially dependent on Dennis. Like rumor has it you were on Cordell. And understand that sometimes it's hard to leave a relationship because of financial reasons. But in this case, Porsha, you're making your own coins. Like, let that hot dog man go. Seriously. But as I said, it's your relationship. Eva took her 4-week-old baby to this event. Okay, Mike is a nice guy, because a lot of husbands would have been upset, but I really appreciate that Mike is like, alright, fine, we'll go to this event because you are being paid to be on the show, and so you need to be at events and blah blah blah. So kudos to Mike. I mean, people talk a lot about Ciara finding a very good man in Russell. Ciara isn't the only one. Eva has found a good man in Mike. Honestly, it seems as if he is just there for her and willing to support her. And I like that. Yeah, he is a big shot attorney, but at the same time, he doesn't undermine her, like try to belittle her star status. I like that about him. What else is there? Tanya went to the event. Okay, honestly, Tanya doesn't need to be on the show. I'm not a big fan. I like, yeah, she's always happy, but I mean, sometimes she strikes me as very juvenile, and I'm just not here for it. I already told you about Marlo stirring the pot, but what she gonna do? She don't have anything else to talk about. Cynthia going to LA to be with Mike. Okay, fine. That's good. I'm glad that she's spending some time with him, and based on their Instagram posts since then, they've been having a good time together. I like that Noelle is pursuing something. I'm really happy about that. I've watched a few videos on her YouTube channel, and it seems like she's making her own coins, as the young people call it. So I guess that's it. Did I leave out anybody else? No. I think that's all. I mean, season 12, they claim that was the best season yet. I don't think so. I would love to see Phaedra come back. I know what she did was really, really wrong and illegal. Well, allegedly, if what was said is really true. But anyway. But she would be good. She would be a good addition. I would love to see Claudia back because I think that Claudia really got under Nene's skin and we didn't really get to see that develop a whole lot. And I'm just tired now of the same storyline in terms of Nene and Kenya not getting along. We know that I just ignore each other. Like, it doesn't really matter. We've all had to do it. We've all had to be at events where we see people who we're not too fond of and we just keep it moving. Anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and please leave a comment below. Oh, and of course, share.